Yes, Sonal, we can start. I'm done. We are ready to go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Sparkle session. And we are meeting after 20 days. I hope you all are excited for this session now. And we also hope कि आप लोगों के papers बहुत अच्छे गए होंगे. You all had unit tests. So, waiting for the results, right? So, in the last session, we learned about the laws of motion, its historical developments, projectile motion, speed, velocity, and so many other concepts. And the activities that we learned that they were quite interesting. In today's session, we are going to learn about entertaining arithmetic and algebra, where we are going to learn about the unpenned and unpaper versions of maths and algebra and relate it to our daily life activities. So I hope you all are very excited for today's session. But before we proceed to the session, let's see our Sparkle web page where we have all the informations related to the Sparkle series. So you have the joining links, you have the assignments which has to be completed before April 2 this time. So little soon, but yes, we will complete it. And then we have the materials required. And for this session, we are going to require a PDF that we have shared with you. Uh, Matthew, you can show us the PDF. You can click on the reading for the session. It's already uploaded there. I hope you all have got the printout of those PDF, right? That you have received from the teachers. And before we start, so we are going to show you. Matthew, can we show the Hall of Fame first?
Yes, please.
So this time we only have the schools with the best participation: JNV Duki, JNV Parbhani, JNV Mysore, JNV Indore, and JNV Ajmer. Congratulations to all these schools, their teachers, and the students. So they have participated very well. We are not showing these students with best participation because इस बार हमें सारे projects group में मिले हैं. But we are going to show you the videos of students from JNV Indore who have practiced all the activities that were shown in the last session. So let's have a look at it. Matri can play the video.
Is it visible?
Greetings to everyone. I am Ayesha Agnihotri of class 11th A from JNV Indore. I am going to present my exhibit on inertia, which states that a body is completely in rest or in motion until and unless an external force is applied. Good evening to everyone. I am Bhumika Malya of class 11th from JNV Indore. Today I am going to present a balloon car on the principle based on Newton's third law. When we have pure air, it moves in forward direction. Thank you.
Good evening to everyone. Myself Badami Thakur of class 11th A from JNV Indore. I made pinwheel balloon which is based on Newton's third law, which states that every action has equal and opposite reaction. In this, I will blow air inside the balloon and the air comes out in the forward direction and balloon moves in backward direction. It worked like this. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. Myself Yogita Karma of class 11th on JNV Indore. I am presenting an activity under Sparkle series of Vigyan Jyoti. Here I am having a book and the page. And when I take this and when I leave the page and the book at the same time, see, the book takes the least time to reach the ground. Whenever the page takes more time, it is due to the air resistance the page faces. But when I put the page on the book and I put it on, it reaches the bottom, the page reaches the ground on the same type the book have. Because of the book, the air resistance can't act on the page that much, it acts on while only having the page.
To all, I am Priyanshi Chaudhary of class 11th A.
And I am IIT Gandhinagar of class 11th from JNV Indore.
We are here to present an activity on Sparkle series of Vigyan Jyoti. This is all about Newton's second law. The greater the mass of the object, the greater the force will attack. The greater the force will attack, the bigger the hole will create. This is a ball of a bigger mass. This is a ball of a lesser mass compared to this one. As you can see, this ball make a bigger hole compared to this one. This ball has low mass than this one. So this one make a smaller hole than this one. And this is the smallest ball. It makes the smallest hole because the mass of the ball is the smallest one compared to these three balls. Thank you.
So as you can see, the students of JNV Indore, they have practiced all the activities that were shown in the last session, and their concepts have been so, like, they can speak the concept so clearly. So we want to say that if you will also practice these sessions, these activities at your school with your friends, you will learn a lot. So keep practicing, and congratulations to the students of JNV Indore for this wonderful for sharing your projects with us. So if anyone is there from one JNV Indore, if you want to share your experience, that would be great. So if any student or teacher there, you want to share any experience or any learning that you have.
So you should be able to unmute yourself now. So whomsoever wants to speak can just unmute themselves, or just raise your hands if you wanted to share, speak, talk. Even if you are angry with us, कुछ गालियां देनी है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल खुल के बोल सकते हैं आप लोग, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बोल रहा हूँ कि यार सोनल ने दोपहर के उसमें फंसा दिया, बढ़िया से खाना खा के आराम कर रहे होते, ये कहाँ फंस गया ऐसा लग रहा है. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, whatever you have feelings, feel free to share yourself. No, not anybody. No one from the. So I can GNV Dakshina has various girls sitting in the classrooms with their colorful, I believe, their uniforms. आप में से कोई कुछ कहना चाहेगा? I can see Payal is listening very carefully. GNV चंपावत से तो हमेशा बच्चियां उत्साहित रहती है. If none of you wanted to share, then maybe we would like to proceed with the session. If so, feel free to unmute yourself. This is the time you should speak.
अभी नहीं बोलना है. You can speak in between the session also. You can let us know if you have any doubt, if you want to share anything, or at the end of the session also you can speak. We will start with the session now. So yes, Jay, over to you.
All right. So once again, welcome you all for this. Almost we are reaching towards the end of the series. So I welcome you all for the 7th session of this Sparkle series. And as the name suggests of the series, the Sparkle, the idea, the overall idea of whatever we do, whatever we have done, and whatever we are gonna do, the idea, only and only idea or the goal we are looking at. Let me just spotlight the video. Yeah, the goal whatever we are looking is to bring back the gleam in the eye. जब भी हम कुछ देखें, कुछ जाने, कुछ बनाए, whatever we discuss, the idea is to know, becoming curious about it, noticing the patterns around the things which are. So for example, and that's what we wanted to showcase some of the things to you, which is right there around us. The only thing we need is the perspective to catch the need or the paying the attention, observing such a thing. That's what we also wanted to show you for this particular today's session. So thank you very much, Sonal, AIF, other colleagues, for giving this opportunity to interact with you all. Thanks to all students who have joined here today. Thanks to all teachers who have facilitated this particular arrangement, bringing all students together and making sure this entire streaming, the entire live session is available to you. So I am Jay. I'm connected to you from Center for Creative Learning, IIT Gandhinagar. हमारी एक छोटी सी lab है जिनका नाम है Center for Creative Learning. So at the lab we have 1,000+ stories, activities, model toys which will really fall in love with the subjects, whether it's a mathematics, science, middle school, high school. That's what we all do. तो कुछ चीजें जो हमारे काफी दिल के पास है, whatever things which has excited us a lot, that's what we are trying to share with you as a part of this particular series. And in today's session, that is what we are gonna do. So I hope you have bring the printouts of the things, the PDF I have shared with you. So there were basically the 4 circle with you, and there are equidistance points over that. I also request, if you don't have, please bring a ruler, a scale, and a sketch pen or a pen, pencil, whatever you have along with you. Please keep that with you. कुछ मजेदार जो है चित्र कलाकारी करेंगे, and we try to see some beautiful mathematics which are hidden in. But उससे पहले बिल्कुल हम कुछ खेल करेंगे, कुछ हम हाथों से कुछ चीजें बनाएंगे. We'll draw something, and then later on, if at all you are interested, we will try to talk about the patterns with us. Talking about the video which Sonal has just shared about the participants, 1 or 2 things we would like to bring the attention of yours. एक तो था जो experiment where the girls were doing for the showing the impact, showing the second principle laws of motion, where the higher the mass, the higher the impact. That's what they were, the higher the force and the higher the impact. That's what you are trying to show with the hole it makes in the sand. What it would be a really accurate, see, along with the mass, you are also increasing the volume. So so one of the parameters was getting, 2 of the parameters were getting changed, right? So आप बड़ा गेंद लेंगे, the hole it will make will be bigger, even if the smaller mass. So one object, smaller radius, another object, same mass, but bigger in what you say, the volume of the sphere. Okay, if you take, let's say, a wooden ball with a bigger diameter, same with the metal ball, same mass with the metal ball, 500 ग्राम का वुडन का बॉल ले लिया, उसका डाया बड़ा होगा. 500 ग्राम का मेटल का बॉल ले लिया, उसका डायमीटर छोटा होगा, right? Because the density of the metal is higher. So now if you drop it into the sand, maybe the wooden ball having the larger sphere would be what you say, the circle it will make in a sand, maybe more. So what we would try to do in any scientific experiment, one of the parameter you have to constant. We have to keep it constant. So if we wanted to showcase that the impact is increasing with the mass, then the other parameters such as volume, we would like to keep it constant. So it would be having a much accurate experiment if you would have done with the same diameter, same radius sphere with, let's say, one metal and with the another material. And then we are showing that would be much accurate. When another thing, I was just so happy to know the girls making the spray of the water with the 3-in-1 toy which we have shown, and also showing the sprinkler out of it. Wonderful. Also try to blow the whistle with the another end with the straw, and so that's what we call a 3-in-1, right? एक side से करें तो CT, एक side से करें तो spray, and with the sprinkler. And also try to change the angle of that 3-in-1 khilona, and just try to observe for which particular angle it's good maximum. Your textbook says 45 degree, but was it a 45 degree, or what particular angle that you just try to observe. All right, so today's session is all about looking at the mathematical pattern which is all around us. But usse pehle आपके लिए जो पहला सवाल आना जा रहा है, this is something you must have seen. सभी लोगों ने जो है ये देखा होगा, इसे हम कैलेंडर के नाम से जानते हैं. My question to you, what is the use of calendar? Why do you use calendar for? क्या आप मुझे चैट बॉक्स में लिख के बता सकते हैं? I can also have float the what you say an item pool question or poll question, but it's better for an informal communication. सभी लोग चैट में उत्तर करके देखें ये कैलेंडर का यूज क्या है. For what purpose you use this object? ये आपके दीवानों पे टंगा रहता है, किस लिए आप इसे यूज करते हैं? Somebody from JNV Trivandrum says that date. Somebody is saying me day or date. Any other answers to easily find the day and date? or I'm looking for responses from everybody. Easily find the day and date. Kolhapur. What about others? पायल जी आप क्या सोचते हैं? हॉलीडेज, बहुत बढ़िया. दिस इज सॉर्ट ऑफ एन डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस वी आर लुकिंग. बिल्कुल बढ़िया. कब छुट्टी आती है और कब हमें जो है क्लास से मुक्ति मिल जाए, उसके लिए भी हम कैलेंडर देखते हैं. और रिमाइंडर, बढ़िया. किस चीज का रिमाइंडर? आज दोस्तों के साथ शाम को पबजी खेलने, उसके लिए रिमाइंडर्स. टू चेक दी फेस्टिवल्स, बहुत बढ़िया. होली का त्योहार है, और अगला त्योहार कब आएगा उसको देखने के लिए. व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? कितने पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं यहाँ पे? 85 पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं. लुकिंग फॉर द 85 रिस्पॉन्सेस. एवरी स्कूल शुड एटलीस्ट हैव द सिंगल रिस्पॉन्सेस फ्रॉम देयर एंड. हाँ जी. टू सी डेट एंड डेज. ऑल राइट. सो नाउ if so I can see date was the common for most of the answer. Let me just go to the overhead. मार्च का जो है वो महीना निकाल देते हैं यहाँ पे. Let me put the calendar on the front camera. बहुत बढ़िया. Let me switch to the overhead. So now if you look at the calendar of in March, focus on this part. How do I find out that what is the date of today? So apparently, as per our knowledge, we know that it's the 29th of March. But how do from a calendar I to derive which date is today's? आज कौन सी तारीख है वो कैलेंडर से कैसे पता करें? Calendar is convenient for regulating civil life, religious observation. Oh ho, खूब भारी वर्ड हो गए. रेनुश्री, yeah, maybe, but I'm looking at this simple object. हर रोज इसके ऊपर हम देखते हैं, हर रोज इसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं. And what we are telling that we used to find it out today's date. What is आज का तारीख क्या है, उसके लिए इसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं. But how do I find it out? What is the date of today? आज की तारीख क्या है, कैसे पता करें? To looking at days. ठीक है, चलो, तो आज है वो बुधवार है. Today is Wednesday. From Wednesday, even if you know, let me once again go back to the overhead camera. Even if you know, oh, apparently this is 2022 only, na? All right. So my bad. Today is basically 30th. आज है वो 30 तारीख है. So even if you know today is a Wednesday, there are, you see, in a Wednesday's column, there are 5 dates lying on that particular column. It may be the 2nd of March, 9th of March, 16th of March, 23rd of March or 30th of March. फिर कैसे पता करें कि आज 30 तारीख है? First go to March section. I have gone into March section. Then last date we remember. See, Now just imagine I have just bring you from the Mars to an Earth, and I have shown you calendar, and what you have said, calendar's purpose is to figure out today's date. कोई मान लो बाहर से आया है, अभी जस्ट स्पेस ट्रैवल करके अभी लैंड हुआ, and if I show them the calendar, how would he know what is the date of today? So apparently you can never derive today's date or date from a calendar. Calendar's only purpose is to figure out a day, which day is today from a given date. That's it. That's it. No any other information you can derive from the calendar. अगर मुझे पता है आज कौन सी तारीख है, तो मैं जो है उसका कौन सा आज बार है, that's it what you can derive from the calendar, and that's the only purpose it solves. And there is a beautiful pattern which is lying there in our calendar. So just have a close look in it. But before that, there is a second question for you. Mark the column which I have highlighted for you. This particular box. 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18. What is the sum of these 9 digits? ये वाला जो square है 3 क्रॉस 3 का, उसका sum कितना है वो मुझे आपको मैसेज करके बताना है. What is the sum of this particular 3 cross 3 box? 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, and 18. What is the sum of this particular 3 cross 3 box? Just have a close look into it, and let me know in the chat box. Somebody is saying 89. Solapur says 89. What about others? 90. All right. What about others? 90 once again. It seems like 90 is getting repeated. अब सबको लग रहा है कि 90 होगा. By just looking at this particular box, I can say that the sum is 90. Not only that, you can tell me any 3 cross 3 box from the calendar. So for an example, if you pick this particular box, which has 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, the sum would be 81. Just by looking at this particular box, I can tell you what the sum would be. Take any box and just don't believe my words or believing on my mathematical skills. You make sure that the sum I'm telling you is the correct. Take any box, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23. Just looking at this particular box, I can tell you what the sum is. The sum is 135, and just don't believe on my words. Make sure you do the arithmetic, do the addition, and pick any of the box. And what the things I have done here is just look at the one of the pattern into this particular box. Now, if you look at this particular box, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 18, take any this particular slide. So let's say for an example, take 2, 10, 18. The sum would be 30. Take any this diagonal, 16, 10, 4. The sum is 30. Take any particular column, 3, 10, 70. The sum is 30 once again. 9, 10, 11. The sum is 30 once again. There are 3 columns, and the sum would be, of course, so there are this diagonals, and there are these numbers. Not the only thing there. You look at any particular pick a number, and the average of this particular 3 cross 3 would be 10. कोई भी square पकड़ लीजिए, उसका जो middle का number होगा वो उसका average होगा. So now in this particular 3 cross 3 box, there are 9 numbers, and their average would be 10. And there are 9 numbers, so the sum would be 90. You take any box, and this is not about particular to the March calendar of 2022. Any rectangle, any square, any year calendar, any month, the middle number would be the average of this particular 3 cross 3 box. Beautiful pattern, and I can keep on going. जो है यहाँ पे चेस के प्यादे को जो है वो आप चला लीजिए. Take any pieces of the chess. So let's say घोड़े को ले लेते हैं, take it into any direction, and the differences would be always the same. Take a knight of the chess, the knight of the chess, and so घोड़ा जो होता है वो 2.5 चाल चलता है. The knight would take the 2.5 steps. So let's say we start with an 28, take in half steps. From an 28, 1, 2.5, the difference, and then you reach the 20 through. The difference is 5. Take once again the 2.5 steps. 24, 25, 18. Difference between 80 and 23, 5. The player you take and go into the one of the direction, the difference of that would be the same. Beautiful patterns lying into this particular calendar. कभी हमने इसको notice किया क्या? Look at the column. Every number is getting in the difference of an 7. Basically, that's nothing but your arithmetic progression. Take any column of your into the calendar. That's an arithmetic progression. Have we noticed? Have we paid the attention to our calendar or not? That's the motivation of this entire series. That is what we are looking after as a part of this conversation we are having for this 9 session of series we are having. The projects we are doing, the assignments we are doing, the questions we are discussing. The goal is to let's pay attention to this beautiful mathematics which is all around us. Starting from a calendar, हर रोज हमारी दीवार पे हमें ये टंगा हुआ मिलता है. क्या इसको हम थोड़ा ध्यान से देखते हैं क्या? And why it is important, I'll tell you a story which is very close to my heart. The story is about a 4th grade classroom. एक बार जो है उनकी teacher just asked in the 4th grade to just engage the students. वो जो है वो free रहना चाहते थे, थोड़ा आराम से बैठना चाहते थे, to make just him free and vacant for some time. He asked for a task to that children that sum up numbers from 1 to 100. Add all the numbers from 1 to 100. So शुरुआत में तो वो बच्चों की गाड़ी तेज चली, 1 से 2, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6 और 4, 10. So शुरुआत में तो गाड़ी बढ़िया चलती express, but the same train when the numbers are getting bigger, that's from an express is go to a local one. But the teacher observed that one student near the window is just sitting quiet, doing no pen paper work, and teacher got annoyed. Why he's not doing his work? So he approached the boy and asked him. The boy said the sum is and teacher asked that why you are not doing the work. So student said I'm done. I'm done with the adding numbers from 1 to 100, and these are just a couple of seconds which teacher has assigned the task. Teacher was surprised, and the boy said the answer is 50-50. 5050 is the answer to addition between numbers from 1 to 100. Teacher was just taken aback. He was just totally stunned and surprised that this boy has done this sum in a couple of seconds only, which is really difficult, right? You are adding the numbers one by one, and it's really difficult. The boy says, "I see the pattern here in adding the numbers." I'll just write down the pattern for you. So what he says is, let me just write down here. So he says that I'll go back to the overhead. So he says that there are numbers from 1 to 100. I hope you are able to see my numbers. He says that you add 1 to 100, you get number 101. You add 2 and add it to the 99, you will get 101. You add 3 and add it to the 98, you get again 101. 4 to 97, again the number is 101. You take the first number and last number, the sum is same. You take the second number and the second last number, the sum is same. 101 for all 50 pairs. There are 50 pairs, 101 number, multiply them and you get the answer as 5050. Isn't it absolutely amazing the way he has observed the patterns? The teacher said that you just go out of the classroom. not because I am annoyed or I am disturbed with your behavior. I have nothing to offer to you. So you just go out of the classrooms and do whatever pursue you wanted to pursue. And this is a real story I'm talking to you. I'm sharing to you. And the name of this particular boy is Gauss. He has done a marvelous contribution in the field of mathematics, engineer, Gauss distribution. Gauss has in the physics as well. He has and the absolutely amazing observation. This is what we do in the formula of arithmetic progression as well to get the sum of given an n numbers. The formula is we learn the formula, right? The a plus l multiplied by n by 2. This is what the formula is you can derive from here. So a and l is the first and the last number in the arithmetic progression, and n is nothing but a number of pairs. And divide by 2. This is can we have the visualization sense when we look at calendar, when we look at the vegetables, when we do when we look at the A4 sheet paper, tash ke patton ke saath, if we get a chance, we do certain things. So idea, once again, I'm trying to repeat and once again to you, that idea is to observe the patterns in certain things, in the nature, in the things around us, in our daily life. And I wanted to illustrate certain beautiful things in the form of art. तो आज है कला और गणित का समन्वय के साथ हम हैं कुछ चीजें देखेंगे. So I hope you have this printed sheets with you. So what I request to you to start with, जो है आप है सबसे पहले 0 से 11 के नंबर तक का आपके पास एक सर्कल होगा, sheet like this. So you'll have a sheet like this. Please bring this, everyone please get the sheet like this, which has a 0 to 11 numbers label in a circle. वो आपके पास रखिए. And here comes the first task for you. अच्छा, कितने बच्चों के पास, लेट मी जस्ट गो इनटू द गैलरी व्यू. जिनके भी पास, सो मे बी फॉर अ स्टार्टिंग यू कैन जस्ट स्विच ऑन योर वीडियोस. कितने बच्चों के पास ये प्रिंटेड पेजेस है, वो बस एक बार हाथ खड़ा कर दीजिए, आप पेपर दिखाइए. आई बिलीव यू ऑल्सो हैव अ पेन एंड रूलर विथ यू. सभी बच्चों के पास ये है. व्हाट अबाउट चंपावत गर्ल्स, आपके पास ये है पेपर प्रिंटेड फॉर्म में? बहुत बड़ा. व्हाट अबाउट द त्रिवेंद्रम गर्ल्स, दक्षिण कन्नड़ा? व्हाट अबाउट यू गर्ल्स, यू हैव द शीट विथ यू. बहुत बढ़िया. बाकी सभी लोग जो स्कूल से, वो भी अपना एक बार वीडियो ऑन कर दें. दैट वुड बी बेटर फॉर मी. एटलीस्ट आई विल गेट टू नो कि आपके पास ये चीजें हैं. हाँ जी, तो 2 मिनट के लिए इफ यू कैन स्विच ऑन योर कैमरा, दैट वुड बी ग्रेट. Yeah, Solapur girls, I've seen your papers. Great, wonderful. ये RC Kavya है, you have the printed papers. बहुत बढ़िया. What about the other GNVs? GNV Yanam आपके पास है? GNV Sangli, GNV Mysore. Please switch on your cameras if you can. Just let me know if you have this printed pages or not. जितेंद्र शर्मा सर, आपके यहाँ पे सभी बच्चियों के पास है ये वाला कागज में प्रिंटेड? यू हैव. बहुत बढ़िया. चंपक बोरा, नेहा चौरसिया, GNV संबा. व्हाट अबाउट द अदर गर्ल्स? GNV शिमला गर्ल्स, यू हैव प्रिंटेड PDFs विथ यू? यू हैव. बहुत बढ़िया. ऑल राइट. व्हाट अबाउट GNV धारवाड़, GNV रंगारेड्डी, GNV लुधियाना, सोलन. सभी एक बार जो है वो अपना थोड़ा कैमरा ऑन कर दे ताकि हमें पता चले that things are going on there.
Yeah, they are also writing in the chat box. GNV Solan.
You also have. अच्छा. Let me just have a look at. You have. All right. ठीक है. बहुत बढ़िया. All right. So now my task is, we have a simple task to start with. हमें क्या करना है? All the girls, what I wanted to do is here. So I wanted to connect in the overhead camera. I'll show you. So what all we wanted to do is here, कि यहाँ पे circle है. First pick the page which have a numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3 till 11. आपके पास एक और सर्कल होगा जहां पे 12 तक नंबर है, वो नहीं, आपको पहले जो है ये वाला पेज सिलेक्ट करना है, where you have a numbers from 0 till 11. So total you have 12 points labeled from 0 to 11. What all you have to do is connect the dots which are distance 3 distance apart from each. मतलब आपको क्या करना है, 0 से स्टार्ट करना है, go from 0, skip 1, skip 2, and you have reached to 3. So add the 3 numbers and connect the lines between after adding the 3 numbers. So what I'll do is I'll connect 0 and 3. Then take the 3, add 3 numbers, and you will reach to 6. All right. Take 6, add 3, connect it to 9, and then 9 to 0. So what you have got here is a circle, isn't it? What you have got here is a square piece of paper. What I've done here is I've just added the 3 numbers into the given points, which has been labeled from 0 to 11. Add 3 numbers and you'll get a square inside a circle. What about if I add the 2 numbers only? Can you tell me which shape you will get if you add 2 numbers here? You can draw it and show it to in either camera, or you can also write it into the chat box. What you have to done is start with a 0, add 2 numbers and connect the dots, and try to see what shape you will get in that particular process. All right, let me do along with you. So what you have to done is take a number 0, add the number with +2, you'll get a 2. Maybe I can use another marker here, that would be better for clarity. So 0 to 2, then 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, and 10 to 0. So you get a hexagon when you have a difference of 2. Now, if I can anybody tell me how much numbers I should add in order to get a triangle? What we have done is, in order when we added the +3 in starting from a 0, you get a square. If you do with a +2, by adding the 2 numbers, you have connected the dots, you get a hexagon. In order to get a triangle, which numbers you should add to get a triangle shape here? All right. So Sakshi believes that maybe it's a 5. GNV Kottayam says that maybe it's a 4. RC Kavya also thinks that we should add the 5. So now let us just try to do. So what I'll do is maybe let us try to add the 5, or let's start with the 4 and see what happens with the 5 later on. So let's say, for example, I've started with 0 from here. I'll do the +4. I mean, yeah, maybe taking a bigger ruler. So you add 4 to the 0, you reach to 4. Then once again +4, you reach to 8. And Yes,
Can you
Sonia.
get back to the speaker's view? It's gallery view, so in the YouTube, yeah, it's not.
Oh, acha, acha. Sure, sure. Let me just put myself in a spotlight. Yeah. Now it should be much more clearer to you. All right. So what we have done is we have started with 0, added +4. We reach to 4. Once again, +4, you reach to 8 and back to the 0. And that's what the shape you are getting, which is an equilateral triangle. These all shapes are a regular polygons, and you can go and prove by yourself that why it has to be a equilateral triangle. This all sides would be of an equal length. You can go and prove by yourself. Now, taking another, maybe I can take another page here. Yeah, there are already lots of shapes. Now somebody was telling me that we can also do the +5. Any guess on what will get, which shape you will get if you add the +5? Any guesses? What shape? So till now what we have done in the previous page, if you observe, what we have done is +2 you get a hexagon, +3 you get a square, +4 you get a triangle. Any guesses on what you will get with a +5? Chat box responses. Somebody is saying that isosceles triangle. Okay, what about others? Aparna believes that it would be an isosceles triangle. What about others? Isosceles triangle. Shakshi also thinks the same. What about other schools? कौन सा shape मिलेगा if I add the +5 and connect the dots, whatever I am getting? Naina also believes the isosceles triangle. All right, let's try and do connect the points which is 5 distance apart from each other. So what we'll do is 0, add 5 to it, connect a line between that. 5 plus 5, you will reach to all right. So you reach to the 10, but excuse me for that. But observe that on all previous examples of previous shapes we have done, we have started from 0 and we have terminated only and only when we have reached back to 0. Whereas in this particular case, I have reached to 10 and I have not reached till the 0. So what you see here right now, maybe seeing a sector of a circle, or if I connect the 10 and 0, you will get an isosceles triangle. But 10 and 0 are not 5 distance apart. They are 2 distance apart. So I cannot draw a line between them. So till now, this is not a closed polygon. I have to still go on connecting the line which are 5 distance apart. So if you add now the problem is if I add plus 5 to 10, you will get a 15 number. And in this particular circular number line, I don't have a 15. But whenever you, so there are total 12 points starting from 0 to 11. So whenever you get a number higher than a 12, what you do, or higher than a 11, what you do is take a modulo operation. What I mean by modulo operation, so let's say for an example, here you get a number 15. So what you do is divide it with the total number of numbers, which are 12, and whatever remainder you are getting, that is the modulo operation. So if you divide the 15 with 12, you get the remainder as 3. So now you connect a line between 10 to 3. And if you look at, this is also a 5 distance apart from it. How do you know it? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 distance apart from and 10. So either you can take a modulo operation like this, and modulo operation can be written in a percentage symbol. So this is 3, and that's what you have connect a line between them. Still now we are not yet we didn't get a close figure till now. So what you do, keep on doing. Add +5 to the 3, you will reach to 8. Add 5 to the number 8 and you are back to your 8 plus 5 is basically 8 plus 5 is basically 13, and 13 is basically your number 1, and this is where you will reach back to 1 plus 5, you will reach to 6, and we are yet to get a close figure, so we have to keep on going. So 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 5, that's basically 16. 16 modulo by 12, then you will reach to 4. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 5, that's basically 14. 14 modulo by 12, you'll reach to 2. 2 plus 5, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 is basically the 0 only. You get a star pattern when you have a do this with the 5. And there are very interesting questions which I am keeping open for you. What will be this angle? All of this angle would be the same. Question is, what will be this particular angle which the star you are getting? You have a 12 points all in an equal distance apart. The question is, what will be the angle of this particular star which you are getting here? And why didn't we get a star for any other number? So in a 12, what we have done is, if you take, let's say, a 1 distance apart, so you take from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, you will get, there are 12 points, so you will get a dodecagon, which is basically a 12-sided polygon, regular polygon. If you do +2, you get a hexagon. If you take a +3, you get a square. If you take a +4, you get a triangle. If you do +5, then you get a star like this. What about +6? What about the +6? What you'll get if you add the connect the lines between 6 distance apart points? Any guesses? In a 12 points in a circle, अगर आप जो है वो 6 के डिस्टेंस में पॉइंट को कनेक्ट करेंगे तो आपको कौन सा शेप मिलेगा? कैन यू टेल मी? या सो एज नैना इज पॉइंटिंग इट आउट, या so GNV Solapur says that it's a half circle, so basically you get a diagonal which will divide the circle into and half portions, and as Naina said that it would be a straight line. Diagonal मिल जाएगा आपको. You will go from 0 to 6. You add 6 to 6, you get a 12, which is basically your 0 number only. So you'll roam around here and you will get a straight line. What about 7? कोई मुझे अपने पेन पेपर में ड्रॉ करके दिखाएगा कि आप अगर 7 के डिस्टेंस में बनाते हो, what shape you will get in this 12 point circle? If you connect the dots which are 7 distance apart, which pattern, which polygon, which shape you will get if you do so? Any guesses and any paperwork somebody wants to show us? Somebody wants to highlight themselves. नेहा जो है वो अपने ओवरहेड से कुछ दिखा रहे हैं. आई एम नॉट श्योर, नॉट वेरी मच रिकॉग्नाइजेबल फ्रॉम हियर. ऑल राइट, सो रिमेंबर यू हैव टू क्लोज द फिगर. You have to close the figure while okay. Thanks Neha for sharing.
Jay?
Yes, Sonal.
Yeah, Jay, can we repeat that calculation for modulo once? Because it was a bit difficult, so I think you should repeat it.
All right. So let me just repeat. Yeah, thanks, Sonal, for pointing that out. So what we mean when let me take another paper. So what we mean by modulo operation is that, so let's say for an example, you started with 0 and now we are interested in connecting the points which are 7 distance apart or in a +7 manner. So you take a 0, you add 7 into the 0, you get a 7 number. Now draw the lines between both of them. Now you add 7 into 7, you get a number 14. But you don't have a number 14 here, right? You have started with a 0 and you have number till 11. So total number of points are 12 only. So in order to get which number is 14, all you have to do is divide it with the total number of points in your circle, which are 12, right? So if you divide the 14 with 12, the answer is 2 in the remainder. So whatever remainder you get after this particular operation, you take that point. So now you draw the line between 7 to 2. All right. Similarly, now you have reached to 2. Once again, you have to do the +9. So what you will do is you connect the lines between 2 and 9. Now add the 7 to your 9 number. You get the answer as 16. But you don't have a 16 in your circular number line. So what you do for that is divide this number with the total number of points in your circle, which is 12. And the answer is 4 in remainder. So you connect a line between 9 and 4. All right. 4 plus 7, 11. Once again, 11 plus 7, the answer is 18. Take a division of with the 12, which is the total number of points, and you will get a 6 as a remainder. Connect 11 with 6. All right, you have reached till the 6. What about 6 plus 7? 6 plus 7 is, be with me, it's a 13. 13 divided by 12, you get a remainder as 1. 1 plus 7, you get number 8. 8 plus 7, it's 15. Divided by 12, you get remainder 3. Plus 7, you get 10. Plus 7, you get 17. 17 modulo 12. 17 divided by 12, you get remainder 5. 5 plus 7, you'll get the answer 12. And you will see that this and this is exactly same. Both these patterns are same, because you see whether you are going from 0 to 5 or you are going from 0 to 7, and so you are going into the front direction or back direction. So just try to figure out the direction of how you have drawn the star. In a one point, you have started from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, and then another you will see that you have started from 0 to 7 and drawn that star in a reverse direction. So apparently 5 and 7 are same. Similarly, in this particular pattern, now try to add the 8 numbers and you will find it out that 8 number is same as adding the 4 numbers, because you go from 0 to 8, then 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 modulo 12 is basically 4. So you have drawn the equilateral triangle in a reverse manner. So previously for the 4, you have gone from this direction. With adding the 8, you are going into this particular direction. What about 9? In the 9 also, you will find it out that 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 plus 9 is basically 18. 18 divided by 12 or 18 modulo 12 is basically 6. and you get a square when you add the 9 distance apart. So as if you add the 10 distance apart, you get a hexagon. So all patterns you will get is basically a dodecagon, a hexagon, a square, a equilateral triangle, and a 12 star point. This is the only patterns you will get with the numbers 12. You can never draw a pentagon, no matter how you try. How do you add the numbers? You will never get a pentagon in this particular pattern, or never a septagon by no matter which number you choose from 0 to 12 or 0 to 11. You will always ended up into this particular limited patterns only. Now, can anybody tell me why did we get the polygons like square, equilateral, triangle, and a hexagon and a dodecagon, but a star? What was so special about this 5 and 7 when we were dealing with the 12 equidistance point with that? Any guesses? Any guesses? कुछ खास लगा हो आपको ये 5 और 7 नंबर में? And if not, what I'll keep for you as an exercise is कि मैं जो है हमने आपको एक और भी पेज दिया गया है जिसके ऊपर 13 points है total. So I have another page in the PDF for you where you have a numbers from 0 to 12, total 13 number of points in a circle, equal distance points on a circle. Try, can you just try to draw a square on this particular number, or maybe hexagon on this particular piece, a close regular hexagon on this particular piece of number by adding the numbers. So you have a sheet with a different sheet with the 13 equidistance point on top of it. Try to draw a square, a hexagon, or maybe triangle on this particular piece of number. Anybody who does the first, please let me know. If you are able to do, please write on a chat boxes that how you are able to do. So somebody is saying, GNV Shimla says that 7 plus 5 is 12. That was also for the case for 4 plus 8, or maybe let's say for an example 3 plus 9, that also summed up to 12. So yeah, GNV Shimla, nice try, but you may be little wanted to think a little bit more. Unable to understand anything? All right, please feel free to unmute yourself and tell me where you are not able to follow. You should be unmute yourself and speak out whenever you have a confusion. क्या करना है, आपके पास एक सर्कल है, उसके ऊपर 0 to 12 numbers लिखे हुए हैं. You have a numbers from 0 to 12 on this particular circle which has total number of 13 points. आपको क्या करना है? You need to choose a number where you keep on adding it to it. So let's say if you take a number 3, so you wanted to connect the dots which are 3 distance apart. So you take a 0, do the plus 3, you will reach to the number 3, connect a line between 0 to 3. All right, then what you do is add 3 to this number 3, you'll end it up into the number 6, connect a line between 6 to 3, and so on. What I'm asking you is, can you draw a equilateral triangle or a hexagon in this particular pattern? If you do so, please share and show it to me on a paper, or maybe you wanted to write on a chat box. Meanwhile, I'll have some water. It's okay to, if you have a doubts, feel free to, I'll be more than happy to repeat once again every procedure, but feel free to ask the doubts and wherever you need a clarification.
You can always ask your doubts. Yeah, that will be helpful for you. No issue, Jay. Even if they are having doubts after this session, also they can email it to us,
Absolutely.
and we will be clarifying it. Yeah. There is a question, sir. Please tell me how to make pentagon.
All right. So that was the pile question for you. कि आपको जो है वो pentagon banana. So for the previous case where we have our total number of points as 12, we have found it out that we have tried to take all the numbers from 1 to 12, and we were not able to get the regular pentagon in the circle. So question is for which, of course that's what we want to discuss further as well, कि कौन से total number of points के लिए हम pentagon draw कर सकते हैं. So what we have concluded here, for the previous case, we cannot draw a pentagon in a total number of points as a 12. वो वाले केस पे हम pentagon नहीं draw कर सकते, regular pentagon with this addition. So somebody is saying that we can make anything in it. Of course, you can make any polygon into the circle, but the question is that by adding the numbers, so you have a 12 or let's say n set of numbers in a circle, and what you do is you just wanted to use the addition operation, right? You wanted to connect the dots which are equal distance apart, and by using that particular method or by using this particular pattern, whether you are able to get any given shape or not, that's the question. If you wanted to draw a regular pentagon or circle, of course you can draw it. But that's not the question we are asking here. We are asking, with this particular method or with this pattern, are we able to find it or not? Yes, all dots should be equal. I mean, equal distance apart. All right. So what you will observe here, what was so special about, let me just go into the overhead. So this, for which set of numbers, let me just write it down on another piece of paper, maybe this one. So when you have a total number of points as 12, if you have connect the points which are one distance apart, let me put myself on a, or let's say this, that this would be better. So if you have a connect the dots between one distance apart, you will get a dodecagon. If you connect the points which is two distance apart, you get a hexagon. With 3, you get a square. 4, triangle. You take a 6, you get a straight line. So this is what all the shapes you will get. And of course, for the 8 is basically same as 4. So as 9, and similarly 10 and 2 are the similar one, right? And we can go up 12. But what about whenever you have a number? So these numbers are sharing the factor with 12. But where you get a pattern, like this, so whenever you have connected 5 distance apart points or 7 distance apart point, you get a star pattern. And these are basically the co-prime numbers. This 12 and 5 and 7 are co-prime number. What do you mean by a co-prime number? They don't share any factor within 12, and this is what you have got a star. So this is something very interesting when I get to know about it, or when I discover about this particular point. So now, what is so interesting about this particular 13 number? Any special thing about 13 number? Here the total number of points n is 13. Anything speciality you found about a 13 number? This is basically a prime number. 13 don't have any factors apart from the 1 and the number itself. So if you take connect the dots between which is one number apart, then you will get a 13-sided polygon. That's it. Any number you take. So let me just. हाँ, ये GNV चंपावत से कोई भी लड़की अपना फेवरेट नंबर बताएगी 1 से 13 के बीच में. एनी नंबर यू लाइक. हाँ बताइए, अनम्यूट करके बताइए.
सर 7.
7 आपका फेवरेट नंबर है. बहुत बढ़िया. तो आप साथ में ही रहिए. ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज टेल मी द टेबल ऑफ 7 विथ मी. सो व्हाट यू हैव डन इज 0 में 7 जोड़ेंगे तो क्या आएगा, हमें 7 मिलेगा. उसके बाद 14 मॉड्यूलो बाय 13. व्हाट द नंबर यू विल गेट? 1. All right. Please remember that the modulo operation is basically divide the number with 13 and whatever remainder you will get, that's what it is. ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया. 1 plus 7. 8. All right. 8 plus 7. 15. Isn't it? All right. 5 plus 7.
12.
कहीं पे कुछ गड़बड़ की है क्या? यहाँ पे मुझे कुछ गड़बड़ लग रही है. So 8 plus 7 should be 12. 8 plus 7 should be the 15. 15 modulo 13. Then in that case, I have to connect the lines between 13 and 8. I mean, 2 and 15 are basically the equivalent because we are dealing with the 13 total number of points. So this line I have mistakenly drawn. All right. We are at the 2. 2 plus 7.
9.
9 plus 7.
60.
Modulo 13.
3.
Plus 7.
10.
Plus 7.
17.
Modulo 13.
4.
Plus 7. 11 plus 7. 11 plus 7. 18 divided 18 modulo 13, which is basically 5. 5 plus 7 is 5 plus 7 is
12.
12. You have already reached to. And 12 plus 7 is basically 19. 19 modulo 13 is 6. And then once again 6 plus 7 is basically 13. 13 is equivalent to 0, and you have got the circle. So now you see that you have previously got this particular star. Now this is a little bit different star. That's what we have got from Champavat. इसे Champavat star कह देंगे हम. ठीक है? And you can choose your own number. No matter which number you choose between 1 to 13, except 1 and 13, you will always get a star. क्योंकि हम JNV के बच्चे क्या हैं? Superstar. Absolutely. So and this is because no matter, as we were discussing here, आप जो है 13 के साथ कोई भी नंबर ले लीजिए, it will always be an co-prime with this particular number, because 13 itself is a prime number. It doesn't have any factor apart from the number itself and the number 1. That's the property of Yeah, Sonal, absolutely. Superstar GNVs. All right. And this is the beautiful thing we wanted to do along with it. So now what I wanted to do here is that आपके पास हमने एक और पेज दिया हुआ है where you have a number from 0 to 49. So you have total 50 number of points on this particular circle. All I wanted to do is सभी को जो है आपको 10-10 माय बैड सभी को जो है आपको 15-15 के डिस्टेंस में ज्वाइन करना है ना. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज लेट मी जस्ट गो टू द ओवरहेड. टेक अ नंबर, connect the number, that particular number, within 15 distance point from it. So you draw a line between 0 to 15. Take a number 1 and add it to 16. Take a next number 2, add it to 17 and keep on. So now what you are doing is an addition within 15. Try to see what you are getting as a pattern. Now if you are done with the 15, I'll request you to do the same thing by adding the number 10 but with a different pen. Take a different pen and just do this for the exercise. You have I'll give you a couple of minutes to draw a set of lines. Just connect all the dots which are 10 distance apart and 15 distance apart. Till then I'll just have some water in meanwhile. All right, I hope the task is clearer to you. आपके पास एक ये वाली पीडीएफ होंगी जहां पे 50 पॉइंट्स हैं. All you have to do is connect the dots which are 15 distance apart. +15 करना है. हर एक पॉइंट्स को ज्वाइन करना है और 10 पॉइंट्स जो 10 जो है डिस्टेंस अपार्ट होंगे उनको भी आपको कनेक्ट करना है in this 50 number of points. I hope you have a PDF printed copy with you, also a ruler and a pen with you. तो उसके साथ जो है वो आप ये वाला कर सकते हैं. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts, any question, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. And if somebody get to know about one of the question which we have asked, angle के बारे में जो हमने सवाल पूछा था, if you have figured that out, please let me know. If somebody has finished the task, they can just hold the page and show it to me. Meanwhile, Phil, please think about this. Some of the questions we are asking. हम पूछ रहे थे कि ये एंगल कितना होगा for all the stars you get. What will be the angle of the stars you are getting? These are just properties of circle. 9th grade, 8th grade mathematics, which we are asking the question here. If you know, you can write on a chat box or just unmute yourself and let me know.
Jed is answer from JNV Ludhiana 27.6, JNV Surendranagar 27.69.
Acha, acha. All right, all right. So I can see it would be an actual angle probably between 0 degree to 30 degree. That's actually a very bigger range. From Surendranagar, they are saying that 27.69. Okay, Ludhiana also feels the same thing. All right, all right. For which particular pattern you are talking about? Whether when we have let me just put myself. So for the angle, whether you are talking about when we have a 12 points total and we have connected them in a 5 distance apart or some this particular angle you're talking about. $12 points. Ludhiana says that 30 degree. Okay. Okay. All right. And what about this particular angle? And feel free to share how you have derived that, or maybe you can show me at the end of it, at end of the session, to let others also think about it. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. 'So if somebody has drawn the pattern, all right, I can see जितेंद्र कुमार शर्मा सर की लड़कियां हैं, उन्होंने बनाया है ये वाला, बहुत बढ़िया. So I can see this is basically the 15 distance apart and 10 distance apart. बहुत बढ़िया. So what you have done here is नहीं, चेहरा छुपाने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is beautiful. I can see, yeah, this is correct. This is correct. बहुत बढ़िया. So now Sharma sir, for the task, the next task for you girls is कि यहाँ पे आपने addition किया. You have another sheet with you, so which is basically the number of points are there is 100, 0 to 99 तक होंगे. आपको यहाँ पे क्या करना है, points को connect करना है which are multiply by 2 के distance में हो. मतलब you have to connect 1 with 2, 2 with 4, 3 with 6, 4 with 8. 2 का पहाड़ा चलाना है. You have to connect the points which are multiply by 2 के distance में हो. As I was saying, 1 with 2, 2 with 4, 3 with 6, 4 with 8, 5 with 10, and so on. And try to see what pattern you will get. So till now what you have done is an addition. Try to do what pattern you will get if you do the multiplication. And I wanted to share a beautiful illustration, a beautiful observation. That's that shape you will get. You have observed it in your real life. All we need to do is just becoming more curious. All we need to do is just have a more attention to the things which is around us. All right. So the next task, great. I can see many of you have, yeah, Trivandrum girls, wonderful. So I can see many of you have accomplished this task. Next task for you, or next request for you is do the multiplication with or do the connecting lines by the multiplication two factor. दो का गुणा करना है नंबर के साथ और उनके बीच में line draw करनी है. I'll show you as a part of an illustration. Meanwhile, I also wanted to show you that we have also done this particular work by taking this cutting this sort of an wooden piece and made this art with a string. तो एक colorful धागा ले सकते हैं, उसके बीच में कर सकते हैं. What you can do is you can also take any particular foam sheet or an paste a chart paper on it or this printed paper on it. Use your pins and connect the string between different patterns. This is an addition we are doing. Similarly, you can have in 50 points and do the multiplication and try to connect the dots between them and make such an patterns. Yeah. All right. So next task for you is connect the dots by multiplying 2 with the given number. I'll show you for one such illustration. So you have another sheet. I'll show you in the overhead.
Jay, you can. Yeah. No, it's a spotlight again.
So let me just zoom in a little. All right. So what you have to do is take a number. So 0 multiplied by 2 is 0. So let's keep that point. 1 will be connected with 2. 2 will be connected with 4. 3 with 6. Then 4 with 8. 5 with 10. 6 with 12. 7 with 14. 8 with 16. Then 9 with 18. बिल्कुल हमारा जो एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन में जो हमने टेबल्स पढ़े थे, मल्टीप्लिकेशन टेबल्स पढ़े थे, सारे याद आ जाएंगे, सारे याद हो जाएंगे. 10 with 20. 11 with 22. So just complete this task for you and see which shape you will get as a part of this particular process. I hope the task is clearer to you. क्या करना है? नंबर लेना है, 2 से गुणा करना है उनको. You have to multiply it with 2 and draw connect the lines between these two numbers and complete it for all the numbers. So I can see that Chikmagaluru girls have done this task. Can you just share with us? All right. Anybody who has done it? हाँ जी, एक सेकंड है, मैं आपको स्पॉटलाइट में लग देता हूँ. All right, great. So I can see some of the patterns has been drawn. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful stars. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. Just try to do with a addition of these numbers. Let's say, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely beautiful. Just try to draw this pattern by, yeah, great, great. With multiplying by 2 as well. I can see many of you have done the addition wala. Wonderful, great, great. What about Trivandrum girls? Any patterns you have you are able to follow till now? कोई star patterns आपके यहाँ से बना हो, बिल्कुल share करिए. What about JNV Katni girls? take your time. Maybe we can have a couple of minutes and then we'll try to conclude this session. सुंदर सुंदर, बहुत बढ़िया. Absolutely beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. I also wanted to share some of the pics where we did this activity along with some of the students who have visited the campus. I'll just share that you in a meanwhile, huh? And I'll also try to. All right. Just a second. So what I wanted to share with you, oh, let me just put myself in a front camera. Yes. So what I wanted to also share with you is we did this particular activity, physical activity, with some 50 students who have visited last week. And let me just share my screen with you. And where are the pics? The pics, yeah, here they are. So this is what I hope you are able to see some of the pics here. So this is what the activity we have done, and you can also try it in your some of the free time. So we have taken odnis and chunnis, tie them up together in order to have a sufficiently long string. So these you see is a 12 student standing in a circle. And this is our friend colleague Aditi who is conducting the activity. And what they have done is they have connected the points which are students which is two distance apart, and you get a hexagon. Let me show some of the other activities as well. Just a second. And then these are some of the others. Yeah. It's not showing me the next one. This is another one. This is basically dodecagon. Then you have this is a square, and where is the folder? Sorry, this is a Mac machine and I'm not very much used to it. Just a second. Here is a folder. And this is a star. This is the star. You have done it. No? And it's an interesting question, right? That let's say, for an example, if I let you know the diameter of a circle, what will be the length of the ordinaries you will require in order to make this star? This is our interesting question. Of course, some of you have figured out what will be the angle in the case of equidistance 12 points. If you are connecting with the phi's, this angle would be 30 degree, and just try to use your properties of circles. You have done it in the 9th grade in order to figure out what will be this particular angle. What about if you have a 13 equidistance points and you get a star with, let's say, 5 equidistance points or 7 equidistance points, and which different patterns you are getting, different stars you are getting. Try to figure out what will be the angle. These are some of the interesting mathematical questions we can try to think about it, or try to discuss about it. All right. What I wanted to show at the last is कि जब आप इनको मल्टीप्लिकेशन पैटर्न में करेंगे. लेट मी जस्ट क्लोज माय रेस्ट ऑफ द ब्राउजर्स सो दैट आई एम ओनली this. Okay, so what I wanted to, let me just put myself on a spotlight. All right, so जब भी हम इनको 2 and let me search for another card as well. We have couple of string guards being done. So this is basically the circle addition you have done. So this is very fascinating. Similarly, if you do, and this is, so basically if you keep on increasing the distance of, let's say you have done previously with 15 distance apart. If you do with the 20 distance apart, you will get a smaller circle inside a circle. So you keep on increasing your, what you say, the distance, your circle which you are getting inside will become smaller and smaller unless and until you reach till the diameter. So jab aapka, let's say you have 100 points, you connect with a 50 distance, so you will get basically a point in the center, because all of them are the diameters, right? And then once again the radius starts becoming increasing. So just try to do that while you are doing it. What I wanted to share you is that so when you take a circle and then do the multiplication instead of an addition, multiplied by 2, you'll get a shape something like this. For the 100 points, you'll get something like this. बिल्कुल एक बढ़िया से दिल आकार बन जाएगा. मैं आपको ओवरहेड कैमरा में भी दिखाता हूँ. And that's where I think हमारे दिल जुड़ने ज्यादा जरूर है ये गणित के साथ, with doing some of the activities like this. Let me just switch myself to an overhead camera. Here it is, the OBS. It's not. Where is the OBS? Yeah. All right. So when I do the multiplication, you get a beautiful heart, and some of you might have tried this. Yeah, as Trivandrum sir is sharing. Absolutely. So yeah, a little bit error might be. Otherwise, आपको जो है वो बिल्कुल बढ़िया से perfect दिल मिल जाएगा यहाँ पे. Yeah, I can see Jitendra sir also. Their girls also showing some of the hearts. Now you do the multiplication with 3 and you get the shape like this. And what is so interesting, can anybody tell me आपने क्या ये वाला shape कहीं पे देखा हुआ है इससे पहले? Of course this resides or this resembles the heart shape as well. इसलिए इसको कार्डोइड शेप बोलते हैं. The shape you will this particular shape is basically a कार्डोइड shape. जब भी सुबह आप जो है वो ग्लास के अंदर, सिलिंड्रिकल ग्लास के अंदर, कॉफी मग के अंदर, जब भी लाइट सोर्स आपके एग्जैक्टली ऊपर ना हो और वो जो है कहीं पे साइड पे हो, तभी भी आपको जो है वो शेप देखने मिलेगा. And I'll show you with let me just share my screen here with, कहाँ गया share screen का option, ये रहा. So this is basically the shape you will also observe when you are having your coffee or tea, and this shape will also be there. And so next time you are having anything in your glass, या फिर सुबह नहाने जाएं और बाल्टी में भी आप देखेंगे कि अगर जो आपका बाथरूम का बल्ब है, योर बल्ब, द लाइट सोर्स इज नॉट ऑन एग्जैक्टली टॉप ऑफ योर व्हाट यू से द mug, or and at that time also you will see or observe the heart shape like this. Isn't it absolutely beautiful, where there is a mathematics or connecting the strings which is multiplied by 2, and this is also the shape you will get when you rotate a circle on top of another circle. The path will be traced by one of the point on a circle would be exactly this thing. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing mathematics you will find in correlating with your real life experiences. तो आप जब भी कल सुबह जो है वो अपना चाय पिए, कॉफी पिए, दूध पिए, बिल्कुल देखें कि ये वाला शेप आपको नजर आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. नहाने जाए, बिल्कुल ऑब्जर्व करें अपनी बाल्टी के अंदर ये वाला जो है वो आपको बकेट में ये वाला शेप नजर आता है कि. एब्सोल्युटली ब्यूटीफुल, एब्सोल्युटली. आई कैन सी सम ऑफ यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन this multiplication table, and that's the goal. Let me just switch on to my I'm getting little bit trouble with operating this particular Mac machine, but let me just try OBS. Yeah, here it is. And that's the goal of entire this effort we are doing. The AIF, that's Center for Creative Learning, together what we wanted to do is just bringing back the gleam in the eye, starting from the morning where we are having our breakfast, trying to relate the mathematics and science with our daily life experiences, whether we are talking about the calendar or making some pattern out of it. So हमने कुछ इसी के related सवाल questions भेजे हैं. Do try to make certain patterns like this. This is we have done in a cardboard के ऊपर पेपर चिपका के यहाँ पे धागा चिपका है. Try to do this. Share it with your friends. So next time, whenever you wanted to gift your any of your classmates, try to showcase your expression with this. Giving them this particular heart shape pattern, doing this mathematical gift, or giving a mathematical gift to your friends and colleagues, and exploring the art and mathematics which is related to the. So where there is a simple mathematics and related arithmetic things which are there, that's what we wanted to do in a collaboration with art. Doing it with your own hands has absolutely fun with you. So yeah, we have planned a lot more many things, but the time is already running out. So maybe Sonal, we would like to conclude here, and there are a few other things maybe we can take that into the next session. What we have thought is giving a sufficient time to do the things by yourself. तो आप खुद इस सेशन के दौरान करेंगे, कुछ बनाएंगे तो आपको मजा आएगा. That's what we have planned for, and that was our the larger priority. I hope when I got to know about the connection between this mathematics and this coffee mug reflection, I was just taken aback. And I hope that moment of discovery would be the same for you when you find this shape in your experiences. Yeah, thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, and it was very interesting. Like so many new things and learning. This was totally different, and it was so nice. I think the students would also have enjoyed the session. And do try these activities, do try doing these activities at home. I tell this every time, because once you practice this thing at your school with your friends, you will learn better. You will understand the concepts more clearly, and this will be something very interesting that you can pass on to your like juniors also. You can tell them that these were the things that we have learned. We haven't learned these things during our school, but you all are fortunate that you are learning these things. So enjoy it, keep practicing it, and we will meet soon. We are going to meet on this Saturday only. So get ready for the next session. Keep doing the assignments. Like this time we have less time, but do try doing the assignments so that it will be good for you. So yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. And in case if you have any doubt, anything, you can email us at sparklegnv.com, and you can also share your project activities with us. Thank you, students. Thank you, teachers, for joining.